In this video, we are going to discuss about the communication. What's happening in an organization and how they are communicate each other. So in the introduction part, we will see the common meaning for the communication. So communication is the exchange of message between two people. So when people want to interact, there should be a common symbols that they want to understand easily. So in common meaning is it is a shared. Shared is the way how they are sharing the information in what process they are using. Okay, and whenever a group of people interact, it is a way of communication takes place. So communication is the exchange of information using a shared set of symbols, and it is the process that links the group members and enables them to coordinate their activities. Definition of communication. So communication is an intercourse by words, letters, symbols or messages, and is a way that the organization members shares meaning and understanding with each other. So just um, communication is sharing of information in what way they can easily understand each other. So the next one is communication process. In this, there are few parts. So we all know that communication, when sending a message from one source to one another end, there will be some set of process. So in this source, from where this message is sending, and the next one is encoding. Convert the message to a some other symbols or message, and the channel, the way how the message or data is transferring, and next one is decoding, converting that message into some other symbols or codes and transfer to the receiver. So these are the few steps involved in communication process. Let us see the process one by one. The first one is source. Communication depends upon the considerable degree on the characteristics of source. So in simple words, the person who initiates the communication process is known as a sender or source. So for example, in an organization, the sender will be a person who has a need to send a message to others. So in this, the sender has some information which he wants to communicate to some other person to achieve some purpose. The next one is encoding. Encoding is transferring the source code, the source message into some other form in which the receiver can able to understand. So in this there are three conditions which is necessary, that is skill, attitudes and knowledge. We will see the first one, skill. Successful communicating depends upon the skill you possess. So skill is most important. Then only the total communicative success includes the speaking, reading, listening and reasoning skills. Okay, the next one is attitudes. So our attitude influence our behavior. So attitudes is basic a common thing, and the next one is knowledge. So we can't able to communicate what we don't know. So we should have a clear knowledge about what we are going to send or transfer. The next one is channel. So in this channel only the sender sends the message, carries the channel carries the message from the sender to the receiver. So the way of sending data, no, and this is called as channel. So the actual means by which the message is transmitted to the receiver is called the channel. So the message or data which is transferring from one end to another end, the way, the path is called the channel. And the next one is decoding. So while the data is transferring, it is encoding. So when coming to the another end, it is decoding. So the most messages can be decoded in more than one way. So decoding means interpreting what the message means. So receiving and decoding a message or a type of perception. So converting the data to the receiver's choice is decoding. The next one is receiver. So the receiver is the object to whom the message is directed. So the data comes to the end, to the source, end source, which is encoded and decoded, and the final position is the receiver. So the final thing is feedback. So in common, it's a common collecting information, collecting a feedback at the end. It shows that whether the proper communication is takes place, or it has only one way of communication between two managers and the employees. It gives the proper solution. So we can able to find whether the message, the process have communicated properly or not in this feedback.